Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. Today, I am super excited to chat with a company that's changing the world in so many industries, including telecom with NVIDIA. Alad, how are you?
I'm good. I'm good. How about yourself?
Well, I'm doing well. And, you guys are the tip of the tongue of everyone in tech these days, which is amazing and fascinating to watch from the outside. Um, but you're also disrupting so many industries, including telecom, where I've been active for 30 plus years. Where I'm so excited to dive into the telco data center cloud industry. Before that, maybe introduce yourself and your role at NVIDIA.
Sure. So my name is Alab Blat, and I'm global head of BD Telco Networking for NVIDIA. And our goal is simple. We're trying to help telcos become the best networks they can be and utilize their networks to the best of their ability. And that's really, as you know yourself, being 30 years in the industry, not an easy task. So yes, that's us in a nutshell.
So, not an easy task and notoriously kind of slow moving, very cautious industry. So, what's the opportunity? What does the big picture look like for the telco industry?
That's a great question. I think that the biggest opportunity for them is to ride this AI wave. This is a revolution. The
Hmm.
iPhone moment of AI has occurred with LLMs, and the revolution has begun. And they have a choice. They can just sit on the sidelines and watch it go, and as other revolutions have gone, like the internet and cloud, or they can get on top of it and actually get revenues out of it, build infrastructure and services for it, and benefit from it.
Well, the time is now.
Indeed.
So, what are the different opportunities? You have the edge of the network, you have network monitoring and performance, you have the core, the data center. How do you look at the telco industry today? Where are the opportunities for you and NVIDIA and the customers?
I think that telcos have a very unique opportunity. And the reason is, first of all, they have the most data in the world, probably. And data in this day and age is power. Data equals intelligence. If you can know how to convert your data into intelligence, you have the most intelligence, hence, you have the most unique thing to sell. So, data is definitely one of them. The second is infrastructure. Telcos have the most infrastructure. They're everywhere, at the edge, especially. They're closest to the consumer. They have consumers connecting to them. So they
Mm.
have that link with the consumer. So they have infrastructure, data, and finally, they also have the tools, meaning that today they have a phone in everyone's hand, right? Or a Wi Fi in everybody's office or house. So you have access. So all of these should help them become the best provider of new technology, on paper at least.
Yeah, so the opportunity is there. Tell us about the opportunity that you're working on specifically. You're working with 5G telcos. Are you working more with the data center players? Where do you see your technology kind of enabling new businesses and new applications, new services, et cetera?
So what we try to do for telco is do three main things. One, build the best network, meaning helping
Mm,
them build the best network, both power efficiency wise,
mm.
utilization wise, meaning utilize the most of your network, and get the most, I would say, flexible network. And I'll touch on that why that's important. The second is save money, meaning how do you make your operations very agile and very cost effective using AI. And the third is make money. How do you actually leverage this revolution to make bigger ROI and better, I would say, revenues out of your in both existing infrastructure and future infrastructure?
Yeah, interesting opportunities all around. And I imagine you guys can play a role in different areas in the applications area. Of course, we've all experienced ChatGPT and chatbots. That must be one intriguing opportunity. I imagine you have many OEM customers who are building different elements of the network or applications around it as well. And the telcos directly, with everything from contact centers to voice communication services. Tell us about that value chain and how you see yourself kind of turbocharging that.
So NVIDIA is a full stack company, meaning that we don't only provide hardware, we provide a full stack that
Mhm.
translates from the hardware to a language you can program in, like C, Python. We do this with a tool we call CUDA. Then on top of that, we provide the OS of the platform, which we call NVAI for Enterprise, which allows developers and startups to build applications on top of that. So when you partner with NVIDIA, you actually build a full stack, and you can utilize that full stack full of pre-trained models, actual applications, and AI use cases. And you already see partners doing that specifically for telco. We've announced a partnership with Amdocs and ServiceNow around LLMs, with Snowflake around LLMs. And all of these guys are saying that they will help telcos build LLM use cases. But again, we've got a network of tens of thousands of developers and tens of thousands of startups that have built all of these applications that are building more and more around this ecosystem of infrastructure with our full stack. So it's really more a question for the telco about where do they feel is the strongest piece for them or the weakest piece for them, meaning where do they want to invest? Do you want to work hard to lower your OPEX? Do you want to work hard to increase your CapEx? What would you like to do? What would you like to focus on? What is the burning issue for you as a telco? And based on that, we help them build that to the point where they can actually deploy.
Amazing. So the data center is being reinvented as we speak, and you're a large part of that as well. What has to happen to the future of the data center for energy efficiency, for better scaling, to support all these new services? And what's your role in that new world of data center?
I think that our CEO has been very vocal about this. The data center is going through a fundamental shift because we're talking about the era of compute, meaning you have to utilize the right tools for each mission, and you have to use tools that are as efficient as possible in AI. And that is what we focus on the most, obviously. The best possible compute and the best possible data center for AI. And our struggle has been to really, throughout the time NVIDIA has been around, to completely optimize it over and over again. Meaning, when we release hardware, we keep on optimizing the software, then release another hardware, continue optimizing the software. So it keeps on getting better and better every time. And as we know, Moore's law is dead. We cannot continue to try and fit more transistors. It needs a fundamental shift, which is use the right hardware. And when we view the blueprints that we bring out to the world, we recommend, it's really about using ARM as your CPU for low power, using GPUs for your AI because it's the most effective. And we have other tools that we bring, such as our DPUs, which will handle all of the networking tasks. So any sort of routing, filtering, storage, security. So you actually get the best tools for each part of the mission. And together, they bring this new measurement of compute, which is a data center cluster that we recommend to the market.
Yeah, super exciting opportunity there. You attend a lot of industry events. You're very active in different organizations, from open standards to standard setting groups. And what are some of the most interesting movements in the telco industry that's kind of are designed to rev up innovation and openness and interoperability and all those good things that have been a bit lacking in the past in telecom?
I think that for the past few years, there's been a real focus on O-RAN, right? Everybody's talking about O-RAN. And O-RAN is good. I mean, the direction is great, but it has a problem, obviously, with incumbents. And we're trying to change, as we already said, in telco, change is a difficult thing. So I think O-RAN is definitely one, and it needs a little bit more innovation in it. And that's a piece of what NVIDIA is doing with O-RAN as well. I mean, we're investing in something we call Aerial, which is basically how to utilize AI for 5G. And we'll continue to push that to make sure that different parts of the RAN, like RIC and others, are being powered by AI to improve the way that we deploy. But the main idea is that, what if 5G was just another workload? What if RAN was just another workload on your cloud, like computer vision or any sort of ML, right? So if you have that as only one of the workloads, you can actually combine one device that does all of these and change as you go. So it's a multi-tenant, multi-cloud, multi-workload. That's the type of mindset that we want to see at O-RAN. aside from ORAN, there are bodies like Fuse
Mm.
from TIP, obviously, and TIP has been a player in this industry for a while as well. And we recently attended the latest TIP conference that was in Madrid this year, and we're hoping to work with them to create blueprints that telcos can deploy and partners can help them deploy with ease. And I think that there's plenty more that I can mention, but the main thing, and maybe a contradicting message to some extent, is I don't think we have the luxury of time, and telcos have the luxury of time to sit on multiple committees, to sit with multiple bodies, and to think about notions. Because if they do that for too long, they won't be the players anymore. There'll be another class of players that will replace them or will take most of the money, most of that market, and leave them as a pipe, if you will. So they have to think more strategically about how, for maybe the very first time in their existence, they move faster. They make some decisions that are based on pure adrenaline that is in the market right now, and actually capitalize on that adrenaline, capitalize on that demand in the short term, rather than wait and do committees and have discussions for years and years. I hope that makes
Yeah,
sense.
no, it totally makes sense. And 5G, it's an amazing technology. I use it, love it. I do this live stream on 5G, but it took about 15 years to come out with the standard and get to the point where we have the full capabilities realized. Which we can't wait another 15 years for 6G or 5G, 5.5G or whatever is next. So I would totally agree with you there. You have quite a bird's eye view of all the innovations happening in the industry and beyond. Do you have any favorite use cases or developers or customers that you could talk about? I know there's probably a lot you can't talk about.
There are a lot that we cannot talk about, and a lot that we can talk about. It's hard to pick a favorite, but I would
Hmm.
say that in essence, we like to play with everybody. I mean, as Jensen says, we're the company that works with everybody. We're partnering with everybody. So you'll see our technology inside servers that are based on what some might call our competitors. You'll see us working with everybody, including developers from everywhere. And of course, we love OpenAI. We love all these companies that are now putting a lot of effort into developing LLMs, whether it's a Llama or any other model that you find out there. We love that. We love our developers. I think that NVIDIA really relies and is built on top of developers, because the developers bring all of their know-how, all of their innovation and intelligence into what we're building. And this is a very big piece for us. As far as partners, I think that you'll find that telcos are starting to show their colors in splitting into 3 tiers. Tier number 1 would be your traditional telco, mostly about traditional services, maybe trying to add a few more services, but start trying to remain true to what the core is. Tier number 2 is trying to innovate. It's trying to find new, not only services, but also new developments and new type of deployments to do. And tier number 3 is a telco that decided that it's either a cloud provider or a higher level services provider. And you can see example of that in APAC. A lot of the APAC telcos are pushing much faster than the rest towards being able to deploy regional data centers, or what we call AI factories. And just for the sake of explaining, AI factories is when you build a data center or a cluster of data centers that is able to take data and bring out intelligence. So that sort of a design enables you to attract both startups and government bodies or any sort of big enterprise that want to develop LLMs, and they come to you because you have the infrastructure, you have the connectivity. And a lot of telcos realize, hey, these are our clients already, and we have that approach. We have the space. We know how to design and how to manage a data center. All we need is now the compute and the know-how, and NVIDIA gives it to them as a turnkey. So whether you want to do it in the cloud with something we call DGX Cloud, or you want to do it on-prem with DGX or any of our GXs families, you get the opportunity to build it on your own and to deploy it. So again, 3 tiers of telcos that are taking different approaches to this. And I'm really trying to encourage telcos to take either if you're a bit gun shy, take tier number 2 and then move into tier number 3. Realize what do you need for your own benefit. Who's your tenant? If the tenant is you, meaning the tenant is improving your OpEx, doing all sorts of data science for your own benefit, doing research for your own benefit, great, start with that. If the tenant is your government because of data sovereignty, the need to limit and protect access to the data, that's also great. This is another way for you to develop, but take a step somewhere. Take a step down one of these routes and start your journey. Because the main thing I want to avoid is 5 years from now talking to telcos and hearing that a third of them or more have remained the pipe. Because to your point, we waited for 5G, and the whispers are in some halls that 5G is a failure. And why is that? Because they can't recoup the investment. And if you can't recoup the investment, why would you even do 6G? So we have to help the telcos recoup the investment and really build something on top of this infrastructure that they've built, something that they can benefit from. And a big piece of that is AI inference, obviously. So that's, in a nutshell, the mindset.
Yeah, tremendous opportunity. And your enthusiasm is really infectious here. Tell us about, inside NVIDIA, the culture these days. It's obviously so exciting just watching from the outside and as a shareholder, but it must be really an exciting time to collaborate and to work internally. What's that like?
Very exciting, obviously, as you could imagine. I think that we have a great leader and a great leadership team, and they really focus on innovation. Think about the world is seeing this and saying, NVIDIA, good for you. But it took them 30 years to get here. It was a long, long time of investing, doubling down on the same concepts, adding more, pivoting. There was a long time of this coming, and it's amazing. I mean, I'm relatively new at NVIDIA. I'm almost 2 years at NVIDIA. We've got people there 15 years, 20 years, and they would tell you that Jensen believed in this from day one, and he's been pushing towards this from day one. And now he's starting to see the flourishing of what he believed would happen, the need for new compute, the need for new solutions as far as how to build a data center. They need to have new libraries that teach you how to interact differently with your computer and differently with your infrastructure in the form of LLMs and AI. And I think that being inside of this, when I joined, I stepped back and I told my wife, wow, these guys are building amazing tech everywhere, whether it's healthcare or government or federal or finance, and eventually telco as well. Really exciting because we have solutions, different solutions for all of these verticals. And it's really exciting to see the market starting to adopt and starting to say, yes, this actually does make sense. There is a way to move forward. I do believe that we're moving down the right path. So a lot of excitement. But then again, as you probably read about Jensen, he's very adamant about don't celebrate too much. This is an effort that needs to keep on going. We're working hard about this. If you're not working hard, he would say, if you're not suffering, you're not doing your job correctly. If you're not working hard, if you're not trying to solve a problem that is very difficult to be solved, you're not doing your job correctly. So that is a bit of the mindset there. Excitement alongside the feeling that we have a lot more to give and a lot of innovation to push.
That's wonderful to hear. Tell us about your journey to NVIDIA. How did you end up in a senior role there? What was your process like?
So I spent 15 years at a company called Silicom, where we were an ODM plus, I would say, and we built a lot of solutions from NICs to switches to CPEs and even to FPGA-based systems, so smart NICs and such. We were working a lot with Intel, and I really got exposed to a lot of the needs of the clients, how clients view the network, their networks, and innovation. I helped bring a lot of innovation there. And we just got to the point where I said, I love what I'm doing, and I would like to be at the bleeding edge of innovation. I would like to make products and make solutions that are really focusing on the client's network and helping them improve what they have in their network. And when the idea of NVIDIA came up, I got really excited. I've got a good friend there, and he said, "Look, we're building this new team for telco. We'd love for you to join. There's a lot we can do. We're like a little startup inside NVIDIA currently. Let's build it together." And I said 100% yes. This is exactly what I want to do. I want to build new clouds at telcos. I want to help telcos realize the full potential they have in their networks. I love that idea. So as soon as he said there's a chance to do this, I immediately jumped and got it. It's been great so far, and I really went all in for it.
Oh, great story. Congratulations. So, what are you looking forward to the rest of the year into early next year? Anything on your radar worth mentioning? Obviously, all the big events next year from CES to MWC and so many more. I imagine you'll be out and about.
Yes, to some extent. We have extended field teams, so I tend to go into only specific events. But I think that what I'm excited about is I'm really hoping for that aha moment from telcos.
Mm.
And I'm seeing some of it already happening. Some telcos are waking up and talking to us extensively and trying to figure out and getting their feet wet. And I'm really hoping to see more innovation going down that route, more of an awakening in telcos. And I gave the example of ORAN before. As we all know, they're incumbents in RAN, and the incumbents they have the position and they have what they do best, and that's great. But we as an industry really need to evolve. We need to open up these systems. We need to allow for more innovation and for more joint work. And I'm really hoping that this is what we will see in the next year. Another big piece of it is power efficiency. I think that
Mm.
the issue is power efficiency comes up a lot, but not enough has been done to handle it. And we're really working closely with both software and hardware partners to be able to offer solutions that are extremely efficient in the power category. And I hope you'll see that coming forward. And I'm hoping to see more and more innovation around that, more and more solutions around that in the next couple of shows and in the next year. So I think that's what I'm
Well,
most excited about.
we'll be watching, and certainly you have such an interesting perspective on the future. I look forward to future updates, and thanks so much for joining and just
Sure.
sharing your vision and mission. It sounds intriguing, and everyone, reach out to Elad and NVIDIA in the telco space. They're doing some amazing work. Thanks so much, Elad.
Thank you very much.
Okay.